Let's make it a good day.
Welcome back.
We do it our own way.
We're so glad you're here.
Yeah, let's make it.
Welcome back. Well, it's really easy to get wrapped up in all the presents this time of year, but we all know it's not about how many gifts you get. It's about the spirit of giving. And for parents, that can be a struggle to teach that to your kids. Here now with some holiday real parenting talk. Give it up for a real parent, Colleen Lindstrom, everybody. A real live parent.
Here I am.
Hi, sweetheart.
Not an expert, just trying to figure it out like the rest.
That's right. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. For our new audiences, Colleen and I are dear, dear friends. We work together. Colleen's a radio icon here in the Twin Cities at our radio station, My Talk 107.1. Podcast, you call bingos on Wednesday.
Yeah,
you do,
every Wednesday.
Yeah, every Wednesday. Okay, let's...
From my bed.
That's right.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. Let's start with this.
Yeah.
Teens have a very interesting brain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I like to say, they're aliens.
They're aliens.
They're aliens.
That's right. So how do you attempt when they're they're selfish for a reason. It's where their brain's wired.
Thank you.
How do you teach them some generosity during this time of year?
It is not easy. So for all the parents who are like, I'm not doing great at this, nobody is. We're not. It's hard. So you're right. Their brains are wired to be kind of self-centered, right? So we do an exercise at my house.
Because you have three, we should tell you, three teenagers.
3 teenagers, 18, and then I have 2 14-year-olds, almost 15-year-olds, and they're twins. So that's how that works. That's how they got the same age. It's nice to keep everything organized.
Yeah.
Like we know when they got their vaccines because they did it together, like everything, right? So one of the things that we work through, because this has happened before, and all parents know when this happens, when you're like, hey, what would you like to get your father for Christmas? And they think about what they would like to get their father for Christmas, meaning, one year, my kids were like, we like to play baseball with Dad. Let's get all kinds of baseball stuff. And I was like, hold the phone. Is the baseball stuff for you or is it for Dad? Right? Because so you have to do that exercise of like, okay, thank you for coming up with a great idea. Let's work through this.
Because you don't want to pounce. You don't want to pounce the fact that they tap down their ideas.
Yeah, because they did the work.
Yeah.
So I try to do this by example at our house. I don't love how gift giving sometimes turns transactional. I'm not a person who's like, hey, give me your Christmas list and I'll just check everything off. I don't like that. I think gift giving is about showing care and love for another person and saying, I see you and I've noticed you all year long. And so I start a note in my phone the day after Christmas every year. And I just pay attention to things that people say throughout the year. And then I just put it in my phone. So I always have it there. And I say to my kids, also do that. We also only let them, I have 3 kids, they buy for only 1 sibling every year. And I know that seems strange, but the reason why is because they can focus all of their energy on what that sibling wants. So through the year, they know who they're buying for, and then they can pay attention. So it's about the exercise of paying attention to this other person that you care about and thinking about what they would like.
Is the end result, I love that actually. I would imagine the end result is it's more meaningful for both parties?
Yeah, and that's, because that's a really hard lesson to teach. There are adults that don't understand that lesson, right? That gift giving is also for the giver. It's also a joy for the giver to watch a person open a present, right?
I love it.
I'll use you as an example. Giving that watch band to you was
Colleen,
my favorite moment.
I said to Colleen in the commercial break as we were coming back, I don't get a lot of gifts because I'm very lucky and I don't want people to get me gifts. Because if I can buy it, if I want something. And Colleen and Fallon both got me 2 of my favorite gifts ever, and this watch band from a local maker.
Yep.
And it meant so much to me.
Well,
it really
because
did.
I paid attention to you, because I care about you, and I know the things that you like and love, and I thought this would be something that would bring him joy. And it brought me as much joy.
I don't take this off.
To give it to you.
I bathe in it. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, well, don't do that.
Okay, let me ask you a question here.
Yeah.
We're going to come back, but last question for this particular part of the segment. I wondered about this when I was a kid. I'm like, Mom, give me money to buy Dad gifts. What age should teens start using their own money?
So my feeling about that is like when they have a job.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, like when you know, and I do still give my kids like an allowance. Here's how much and if you want to spend something above and beyond that, that's going to be yours to do. And they have in the past, they have said, oh, I really wanted to get this sibling this one thing. And it was a little extra money. And so they'll do that. And that I think also is a lesson in, I want to make that person in my life happy. I care about them.
I love that.
Enough to spend my own money.
Fallon is also a real life parent. She's going to join the conversation more when we come back. Back in a moment. What? Real life.
Let's make it
More parenting talk with my buddy Colleen Lindstrom. Fallon joining us on the couch. She's raising humans as well. What do you think about what you heard? I mean, you're raising a little human and then you have a big human.
Yeah, the big human I'm actually not worried about, the 17-year-old, because Jake did the majority of the raising, and it turns out he is a good parent, and Dylan is a very good child. I am worried about my 5-year-old. I'm more hands. I came into Dylan's life when he was 9, you know, because he's my stepson. But Olive came in from birth, and I'm
and the baking.
Yes, I'm a one and done kind of lady here, and so I want to give her everything, which is not a healthy thing to do. I know.
Colleen, what would you recommend for Fallon?
No, you know what? Listen, I'm just going to tell you the parent that you are at age 5 is so different from the parent that you become when they get older. So don't worry about
it. That's good.
Don't worry about it.
Got a short patience over here, real short. Yeah.
What do you do? Maybe both of you, or maybe not you, but what do you do? What do you do, Colleen? Colleen's kids are great, by the way. I mean, you really are. And so are Fallon's kids. But what do you do? What do you do? I love Olive. She tolerates me, but I love Olive. But what do you do if they don't show gratitude? Like if they get a gift and it's like, and they make a face like a cat's rear.
Yeah, so that's
You know what I mean?
That's something to work on starting right now. We do a lot of role playing, and I'm dead serious.
Do you?
Yes, at our house, because to me the most horrifying thing would be if we have the whole family there for Christmas and they open something that they don't like and we all see it, and I would shrivel up and die. Like I would be like, rapture me right now.
Yeah.
So we do like some role playing about that. Like how do you show that you're grateful for a gift, even if it's not the thing you were expecting or wanted? And they had to learn from a really young age. And I made a point of it. And I think that's a lot of what parenting is like recognizing what the pitfalls might be and trying to prevent them by getting ahead of it. It's just like practicing trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
You know, around Halloween, you practice that so that they don't, you know,
Fallon.
enter
We
somebody's
have
house.
talked about this with Olive because she is 5, and realistically, people want to, they want to get her cute outfits and stuff. She doesn't want outfits at 5 years old. She wants a stuffed animal. That's all she wants is a stuffed animal. Like, she doesn't want books, even though people will get that. So we have talked about it, and Olive is, and like a lot of kids, she asks a ton of questions. So it's just, I think with us, it's explaining to her why you don't make a face like you described, Jason, if you get a book. It's how to show it in your face of like, that was a thoughtful gift. You don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And so, yeah.
It's acting lessons.
I will give you a large sum of money to role play with your daughter and tape it, please.
Oh, God.
I want to see Olive go through these exercises.
It's just going to her being going, why? What's that?
Yeah.
Why?
Why do I have to act this way?
Yeah.
Let's end on this, because your whole thing, Colleen, is being okay with just being okay. To wrap this up, we're going to go have some fun in a minute. What's your advice? Forget the teens. What's your advice to parents to take the burden off of their shoulders this time of year?
So one of the things I think about this just in general in life all the time. When I feel overwhelmed by something, what's the one more thing? What's the thing that it's like, if I removed this from the situation, everything would still be great and I wouldn't feel stress? So for me this year, and it's different every year. So for me this year, I thought, I don't want to cook. I am so exhausted from cooking all the time. What would happen if we just ordered charcuterie and like had it show up at the house day of and we could put it out? That's less stress for me. Everybody's still gonna be fed. It's gonna be okay. So for me, that was the one more thing. But in general, like what's the one more thing that you can just let go of? Maybe somebody doesn't need that one thing that's really hard to get, or maybe the Amazon thing isn't gonna show up in time. What can you do to just lessen the stress? What's the one more thing? Let go of it.
Remove one more
It's
thing.
like Coco Chanel. Isn't that who it was that would
think it
do
was
like
Coco
would
Chanel.
turn around and like if the one thing that stuck out, they were like, get rid of that. Like
Yeah.
that's
Okay,
it's
yeah.
like that, but in life.
I love ending a segment with Coco Chanel.
Why not?
We're going to have more fun coming up next. Colleen and Fallon and I are moving into our craft corner.
With
I mean,
food,
it's
yeah.
a crafty food when we come back. Back in a moment. Oh, God.